Have you ever thought about the photos you don't take? These are photos that you just don't think are important, or maybe it's subjects and items and people that you're like, yeah, I don't really see a need to take that photo in the moment. These aren't photos of like your kids. They're not photos of your pets or, stuff like that. I'm talking about like photos of your home, photos of your favorite Christmas ornament, photos of the little details in life that we just easily forget and easily miss because they're part of our everyday life. But the thing is, 20 years from now, when you're looking back at your photos, it's going to be those little photos of details that are going to bring back so many memories for you. About a year ago, I was watching through some of my old family home video, and I came across this video of my dad giving a tour through my childhood home. Now, this was the house I grew up in. I lived there from the time that I was 1 all the way till when I went to college at 18. Throughout those years, there were so many things that changed in that home. We redid the kitchen, we redid the dining room, we finished the basement, we added on a front porch and a back porch, and the landscaping around the house just completely changed. And so I look at these images of my dad giving the tour of the house when he first bought it, and it looks so different than when I left it. But the thing is, just seeing that and just seeing him walking around and showing the different rooms, showing the living room and my bedroom and the backyard, I get so many memories that just come flooding back to me. When I saw the spot where our back porch would one day be, it made me think of the summer that I spent sleeping on a cot out on the back porch every day because I liked hearing the sound of the crickets at night. And when I see the basement being unfinished, and it brings back memories of my crazy aunt drawing Mickey Mouse on the wall, right? These things that we don't necessarily think would be important or show anything special, they bring back memories. And to me, that's so special. These are the things that could spark memories that I would have otherwise not remembered. And so I want to become very intentional about capturing these same sorts of things for my kids and for myself when I get older. The thing was, when my dad was taking those videos of our house, he probably wasn't thinking about the fact that 30 years from now, his son would be watching in and reliving all these memories. But that's the power of these images, is that they bring back so many beautiful, amazing memories that I just otherwise would have not remembered. And so I want to make sure that for myself and for my kids, I'm documenting stuff now that will bring back those memories. And I'm really trying to be intentional about capturing the things that we wouldn't think to capture, the things that we just feel are simple or mundane or just fly right past us because they're everyday. Now for me, a lot of these things I'm trying to document, they're items or they're places or they're things that I know will change and develop over time, and that when you look back on them, it brings back memories of this specific moment and maybe others as well. And so, I think of things like my house. My wife and I bought our house back in 2019, and we've already done so much change. And so things like documenting the progression of our backyard and the change of our backyard, documenting the change of our garage into this office, things like that, just they bring back memories of the process and the joy that we got out of that. I also think about things for my kids, right? So it's Christmas time right now. One of our favorite things is to decorate the Christmas tree. And we have so many of these special little ornaments that could very easily break, that could very easily be things that we don't put on the tree anymore, years from now, but they're special now. And so taking photos of my kids decorating the tree, but then taking photos of specific ornaments. There's this one ornament that came from my great-great-grandmother that was passed down to my daughter. And it's so special. And so even just seeing that image, 20 years from now, that can be an image that just sparks a story, that sparks a story of, a family legacy or a family heirloom or whatever. But it's really trying to be intentional, and it requires a lot of forethought because it's not necessarily natural for our minds to look at the mundane, the everyday, the simple and think, oh yeah, that's special, right? And so we kind of have to change how we think. We look at items, we look at places, and we're like, is that going to be something that we'll remember 20 years from now? If not, let's take a video of it, or let's take a photo of it. Let's document it. It's things like the stuffed animal that my wife and I bought for our son when he was born and brought to the hospital, and I placed it in his little bassinet and made sure that I took some photos of it there on the day of his birth, so that years later he could look at it and be like, oh, that's cool, Billy was actually in the hospital, and he can show his kids that, right? It's things like the playground that I spent 2 weeks building on my own for our kids to play on. It's things like the photo of my wife and my daughter holding hands as they walk down the street, knowing that there will come a day when my daughter doesn't want to hold our hands. And so being able to look back on that and remember this season will be special. It's things like the dollhouse that my wife worked so hard to put together for our daughter, and seeing her playing with it and being able to later look back on that. And maybe that's something that she passes down to her kids. And so for her kids to be able to see that and be like, oh, wow, that was your dollhouse, and here's an image of you playing with it. Like, it's things that just become special and bring back memories and ignite joy. You know, I think it may be silly to think about these types of things and to say, yeah, we need to be taking photos or taking videos of these things. And it may feel silly, but I think if we can get past that and we can think about the fact that 20 years from now, 30 years from now, these could be some really special things to look back on, I think it makes it all worth it. So I want to encourage you, instead of just thinking about the photos that you want to take, think about the photos that you wouldn't think to take. Try to think about what are those things that I want to document so that years from now we remember them and not just forget those simple, mundane, everyday sort of items or moments or whatever it may be for your family. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this helped or encouraged you at some level. I would love to hear your thoughts. What are the everyday things that are special to you that you just never thought to take a photo of, but now you are thinking about it? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.